What you got going on? Surprise! That's right. As promised, Ms. B, 1 p.m. East Coast time. Real estate roundup right here on Storm Radio 24/7. That's right. We're going live on Storm Radio 24/7 and my regular page, Benita Claiborne, Storm Talk 365. Today is Real Estate Roundup Day with my special guest, Tandra Deverell. I always want to mess that child's name up. Welcome, Tandra. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited for this opportunity as well.
Oh my goodness, I got a big smile on my face. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. So if this is your first time joining me, and it should be because I've never done it before, Real Estate Roundup is going to be coming on every Friday, prayerfully, at 1 p.m. East Coast time with different guests. Tandra is my first guest, and she has graciously accepted the opportunity to come every other week, where in the other 2 weeks would just be visiting guests. But she's going to be my regular go-to real estate agent. And I'm excited to be able to share different tidbits, tips, advice, information, encouragement on anything dealing with real estate from different walks of life. Even maybe to have some homeowner experiences. You just never know. But anyway, you're looking at Tandra Deverell, real estate agent with the United
Real Estate Richmond, yes.
United Real Estate Richmond. So welcome again. So Tandra, I know who you are, but people don't know who you are, maybe. We are looking forward to you not only sharing a little bit about you personally, but telling us about the real estate condition as it is now with the COVID-19. But what got you interested in real estate in the first place, Tandra?
So this is something that I haven't honestly openly come out into the public and shared, but I will go ahead and do it now. I was going through a divorce when I was trying to purchase a home on my own. And it was during the time that most of the subprime loans were being sold. And I myself, not needing that type of loan, was sold that type of loan. And I was it was unaware of what I was being sold. So they said that there's two things that you just don't make big decisions when you're going through the loss of a loved one or a divorce because you're not able to really think clear and make the great decisions that you would ordinarily make had you hadn't had those things that you were going through. So um, being taken and having that happen to me allowed me to enter into the real estate industry. It was then when I decided that I wanted to make a difference and I wanted to be a voice and I wanted to be sure that people were getting in the hands of the people and receiving the right type of help that will not only allow them the opportunity to home ownership, but allow them to be able to maintain home ownership. Because that's even more important than just becoming a homeowner. And definitely, I don't think that any homeowner should go into a house poor. So education has been a big piece of what I feel is important for me so that I can pass it along to the community so that people are informed. Because I think that the biggest issue is information. Once you have the right information, you're able to make the right decision. I always tell a buyer that it's so important to look at things in all avenues and see what's the best opportunity for you because each individual situation is different. And if paying $5,000 towards a bill that's costing you over $100 a month versus adding it into your closing down payment, which is only going to give you a savings of $10 a month on your mortgage, which is better, the hundred and some dollars going away or saving the $10. So I like to team up with partners that are cook and do the things that I do. So I want to be able to give the best experience because it's all about the experience. People don't forget the experience. And so if someone knows that you're working in their best interest because you have the knowledge and you have the partners that have the knowledge, then they are more comfortable about making their decision to transform to home ownership. It's easy to sign a lease, but signing an actual contract and closing on a home takes so much more to take into consideration. So it's not the same process. It can be easy. It can be done right. It can be a security for you. There's different things like a home warranty that you can purchase that can protect your home for those costly repairs so that you won't feel like, okay, well, I'm so used to calling the landlord when something happens. So now that I'm a homeowner, I'm on my own. But with the home warranty, you can feel just as protected as dialing the phone to call a landlord. You can call your home warranty, who would then put you in contact with a contractor that will come out and take care of your service needs. That is for a small trade fee. Sometimes that trade fee can be $75 or $100. But imagine having to come up with thousands of dollars versus that 75 or $100.
I simply asked you how you got involved in real estate, and you giving me the whole show in 5 minutes. But okay, I got to come up with some more questions. Tanja, I really appreciate your willingness to share. But let me ask the questions, okay? Because now
I'm so sorry. I think I'm so excited that I have became overwhelmed because I do want to make sure that people understand and that they're educated. So I do apologize.
I think you just did the whole show in 5 minutes, but okay, I need to back up now. I mean, everything was relevant. Okay, so we now know that you had a personal experience with poor advice and getting a loan, and it got you motivated. Now, when you talked about education, you got a litany of letters behind your name, girlie. Tell the listeners a little bit about your qualifications and why you feel that you can tell them what they may need to know in order to be a better home buyer.
Sure. So designations is what we call them in the real estate industry. And I feel they're important because they're a connection to every step and every process and every change. So as changes happen in the industry, and yes, they do happen, being informed and being able to educate your buyers or your sellers is definitely an added value. And the only way to obtain that added value is through having those designations, which will grant you access to additional information that all realtors will not have access to. So
Hmm?
that's the hugest advantage that I find in becoming more educated and receiving designations is that it keeps you informed. There's additional education, there's podcasts, there's reading, there's books, there's a ton of information that is at your resource so that you can use and be more empowered so that you can educate that potential buyer or that potential seller so that they won't feel like they're going at this alone. And you would be surprised at the information that they thought they were doing and then what you are able to show them that they can do because they didn't have that professional experience or that professional knowledge. So
Absolutely, I
I feel
agree. I was really impressed. I'm like, gracious, look at all these letters behind this child's name. Now, you are a agent with United Real Estate of Richmond. Is that correct?
that is correct. And I've
Okay.
actually been with them now for 3 years. I've actually been licensed as an agent. June will make 13 years for me. I do have to admit that I started in the industry as a part-time agent and was working a full-time job. Um, and then I decided to venture out as a full-time agent. And I have to say that I have not regretted that decision from the day I made that decision.
Absolutely. It's nothing like enjoying what you do. Unfortunately, a lot of people do it because they think it's a quick dollar and they're not really dedicated. It's just like beauticians. They want to, twirl and curl hair, but they don't go to hair shows and do new techniques. They just, do the same thing over and over. And so with real estate or with any profession, you have to, self-motivate and self-educate. So that being said, United Real Estate of Richmond.
Yeah.
You've been with them for a while. Is that a brokerage or is it it, does it go through different types of agencies or just that particular agent?
That is a brokerage, and so the brokerages have two offices right now. So we're actually 200 agents strong, 200 plus agents strong out of two locations. We have a location Arboretum, which is over South Richmond, and then we have our Hanover office, which is at Lee Station. So we have two different locations that we're able to service our clients. In most cases, most of the agents work from home, like myself, and of course, because of COVID-19, it hasn't enabled us or hasn't changed for us to be able to be at the forefront of our clients at the comfort of our home, and then meeting them out for showing or setting up the home for staging, to be prepared to be listed. So that process for us, pretty much that picture is about the same. So that's the reason why the real estate market hasn't truly been impacted by COVID-19. There are so many buyers out there right now. We just need more sellers because there's more buyers than there are sellers. The rates are still low. People wanting to make a move, and we need more homes for these people to make these moves. And so there's some people that are transitioning, whether it be that you're downsizing, or whether it be that you're relocating. There's several reasons why people move. So it's just like, they said history shows that every 7 years people transition, and I think that number is changing as the world is changing. I think that people are no longer staying in homes for 30 and 40 years. I think that facing has changed significantly.
Wow. I guess you can see the expression on my face because I was going to ask you, has COVID 19 and, all the drama behind it impacted the sales? But according to you, not only are the sales better, you're running out of homes to sell. So
Running out of
that's
homes to sell.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now there are furlough issues, so there are people who have unfortunately been furloughed, and could have been in a transaction, and due to that the bank, unfortunately, they want you to be at work. So there have been some people that have had to delay their goals, but I always know that that's a delay. That's not a reason why when you go back to work that you change your mind about your goals, because your goal still should be to be able to go into home ownership.
I've seen a lot. As a matter of fact, I attended one years ago before I purchased my home, but there's some, not going to say organizations, but there's some people out there that say that they can help you with grants to buy a home. It's like a home buyer education. Um, what do you think about those organizations? Do they help or they just, lead you on?
They're real. So, and they're great. So everybody cannot save 20% down for a down payment. That's a huge amount of money to save up on a home. And a lot of people don't have that readily accessible to them just sitting in the bank. So the down payment assistance programs that are out there, most of them are definitely a great benefit for a homeowner, first time homeowner. And when they say first time homeowner, that means that you have not owned a home within the last 3 years. But that doesn't mean that you never owned a home before. So I want to make that clear, because a lot of people think that when they hear first time homeowner, that that's only to a person who is buying a home for the first time. But no, it actually means that you have not owned a home within the last 3 years.
Okay,
And so
so
you
now,
fall in the category of first time homeowner if you have not owned a home within the last 3 years. So again, it's very important to get with someone that can educate, because when you hear that, you automatically think, oh, I've owned a home 10 years ago. I'm not a first time homeowner. That's not true.
that's what I was going to ask you. Now, does this fall into that category? What about, like you said, now people are furloughed? What if they owned a home, it was foreclosed on, their credit is repaired? Can they get home ownership assistance? Can they ever buy another home?
Yes and no. So there are some programs that for assistance for down payment they may not qualify for. But you have your individual banks. And I'll just name a few that I know exist. You have Bank of America, you have Village Bank, You have Fulton Bank, and there's many, many others, Town Bank, that have their different individual grant funding for first-time homebuyers. On top of BHDA, which is our hugest, the largest one that we have here in Virginia, which is Virginia Housing Development Assistance. That's what BHDA stands for. And they just recently, in fact, I just opened up an email this morning where they changed their name. So they have a new name, and I forget what it stated, but they changed from BHDA, and that information will probably be announced. So I'm sure they I actually am licensed to be able to teach BHDA classes. So I'm certified to be able to teach the classes. So of course they wanted to announce that to the certification trainers first, but that information is going public. They did make a name change. Their programs are excellent as well for first-time homebuyers. Some of these loans with the individual banks and other grant funding can be combined, and that's another thing that people are not aware of. Of course, you don't want to take what you don't need. Some people think that okay, if I'm this one giving me 10,000, this one giving me 5,000, I only need 12,000. Can I pocket the $3,000 difference? No, it's going to go to another person that needs that funding for their home ownership. So we don't allow for that difference to come to the individual for pocket purposes. It goes back out into the pot and it feeds somebody else that needs to purchase the home.
Well, you've given me a plethora of information. I'm not going to keep you long, but I do have one more question. It's not about actual buying a home, but what advice would you give people who are buying a home and they don't get mortgage insurance? They get life insurance thinking it's going to pay off the mortgage. Do you suggest mortgage insurance in addition to life insurance, or is it unnecessary?
So there's a lot of mortgage life insurances that actually will cover the the home. However, I do think that mortgage insurance is necessary, and I think that there is a need to give more education about mortgage insurance. It's weird that you said that, and I would love to have this person join me that sells mortgage insurance because after I received the education piece, I understood it better myself. So I think that once we know more, we have to be better at doing better and passing it along to others. So interesting that you would bring that up. And think about it like this. If you most families today survive off of more than one income. So if something happens to one individual, that income goes away. So you have to be smarter with your money and make sure that it makes sense because nowadays the average funeral will cost you at least $25,000 to $30,000. It just depends on how much insurance you have. So let's say you have a policy that's worth $100,000. Most people live in a home that's worth $200,000, and the average market right now here in Richmond is running around 200,000 to 250 is the average price for homes that are on the market, and that's the median. So um, keep in mind that that's not going to cover paying off that mortgage. So it then leaves that person in hardship because they lost their loved one, they lost that other income, and now they have to figure out how they're going to pick up and start and pick up the pieces. And that's really hard, especially when you get to a certain age. Nobody wants to work three jobs to survive.
Absolutely.
And
I'm
so
learning.
having that insurance is important.
You mentioned home warranty. Let's close it out with the necessity of getting home warranty.
Yes. So the home warranty is definitely a necessity. A lot of people think of home warranty as covering appliances. No, home warranty covers so much more than that. If you live in a home that has running septic, yes, you're going to pay a little bit more to get coverage on those additional items, but you want to make sure those items are covered. I've had my with the home warranty that I have. I do live in a home that's running septic, and I've had my well replaced. Also, my hot water tank went out, and I had the hot water tank replaced. So it goes well beyond just your refrigerator, your washer, your dryer, your stove, your dishwasher, your microwave. Let's
Absolutely.
talk about the plumbing, the electrical. We're
Yeah.
talking about covering just about everything inside of that home that you can think of. Then there are some things like roofing that you would pass along to your homeowner's insurance, but that home warranty is definitely my best friend. People say, "Oh, I have a friend that's in the business," but most of the time when you need service, your friend cannot be found.
Absolutely. You know, I'm excited because you told us that home warranty is important. You told us that there are some good agencies out there to help you get funding. You explained the difference between first time home buyer. You told us that it's important for you to find a real estate agent that continues to educate themselves. I mean, you shared a lot. I am just really impressed with where we're going with this, and I'm glad you decided to come on twice a month instead of once a month. Uh, at this point, do you have any idea what you may want to talk about the next episode?
The next episode we could possibly talk about is, and I have my certification also to help seniors. I think that's a big piece of what's missing in our life because do believe that the corporate America has kept families so busy that when their loved ones do get older, they don't have anything in place to put them where they need to be or
Mm-hmm.
prepare them for what needs to happen. And so we have a lot of elderly people that are living in two-story homes, which is no longer safe for them. So I think I'm being led to talk about that because I've helped three families last year in the situations, and they cannot thank me enough. And so I do believe that that's an opportunity that gets missed. And I think our elderly need to be cared for and loved on because they're the ones who take care of us.
All right, we're going to talk about safe and affordable housing for the elderly. I am excited. Thank you so much, Tanja. Tell them how they can find you, please.
Yes, you can find me online, Tandra Deverell. I can also be emailed at agenttandra@gmail.com and my website address, agenttandrasalesrva.com. Also on Facebook, I do have a Facebook business page, which is Agent Tandra the Real Estate. So if you Google me, in fact, I got a call today with a referral from her just Googling agent and she ran across my name. So I'll be happy and delighted to talk to anyone, even if I don't represent you and you have questions and you're considering getting into this, getting into purchasing, selling, investing, anything that has to do with real estate. I'm always open for discussions. I tell people that you can never share your experience, not share your experience because you're withholding from yourself to not do so.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Let me tell you, next 2 weeks is going to be a long time, but she's coming back, y'all. If you put
Yes.
all of your contact information in the comment section under this video, I am really, really excited. Truly, we need to understand that COVID-19 is not stopping anything, and the same opportunities that were there before are still there and even more. So, Tanja, thank you so much. Don't forget to leave your contact information. This is Ms.B, Positively Ms.B, on Storm Radio 24/7, where we talk about business, arts, entertainment, and real estate. All right, Tanja, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. B. Thanks so much for having me. And I just want to say, everyone have a great weekend and be safe.
Absolutely. Bless you too, baby. Bye bye.
Bye bye.